Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the Supreme Court. Well, they're likely getting prepared for a Supreme smackdown on the Colorado Supreme Court after one of the most egregious, absurd, anti-democratic decisions in history. And if you don't believe me, well, let's listen to a law expert about it. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So, listen, Jonathan Turley was on Fox News yesterday after the Supreme Court decision, and he laid it out. He called it a strikingly anti-democratic decision. How could it not be? You've removed the leading Republican candidate from the ballot in a ridiculous move. And he took it a step further. He believes this will be struck down by the Supreme Court. He believes it has to be struck down by the Supreme Court. And I'll expound upon this in just a moment. But let's take a look at what he had to say.
React, Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and law professor at GW University. Jonathan, to think that 4 unelected state court judges could conceivably end up determining the presidential election is something I think most Americans are just shaking their head tonight, saying this can't be the United States.
No, it is a strikingly anti-democratic holding, in my view. The court literally faced a series of interpretive barriers to get to where it ended up. It adopted the most sweeping, broadest possible interpretation to get over every one of those hurdles. So throughout this opinion, it had to adopt interpretations that could encompass a wide array of statements. You know, they used what's called true threat precedent to show that you can view what Trump said as encouraging an insurrection by looking at stuff that he said at other times. And that, of course, allowed them to reach this conclusion. In my view, the court is dead wrong. This is the first major win for these challengers. They've gone to a number of blue states. This is one of the bluest state Supreme Courts you can get to. Even with that, it's split. I think the opinion is really chilling, and I think that the Supreme Court will make fast work of this theory. I hope it does. But I think this court, did great damage to its own integrity with this opinion.
And there have been other rulings in other state Supreme Courts, correct? Or federal courts that have come to the opposite conclusion here. So this is an outlier, which, again, because of what's at stake, it's going to have to be expedited to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, when you read this opinion, the one thing that keeps on recurring in your mind is, where's the limiting principle here? What would not satisfy this test? At each one of these barriers, the court could have adopted a fairly moderate or more narrow approach, but it didn't. And so on every one of these issues, it really took out all the fail-safes and went to the broadest possible meaning. Well, that means that states could engage in a tit-for-tat type of series of decisions. You know, you could have red states blocking Biden on some ballots and blue states blocking Trump. And the way this is viewed by the public is really quite horrific. You know, they view President Biden on the ropes, and the ref just called the match.
Now, I believe if this is not struck down by the Supreme Court, then you've seen the end of democracy in this country. It's over. It's absolutely over at that point. There's nothing left to fight for. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nothing left. They've ended democracy by limiting the choices of the people of Colorado to vote for the president of their choosing. A bunch of non-elected judges, each one appointed by a Democrat governor. Not one conservative on that court. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely a circus. It's a kangaroo court. The Supreme Court, I think, will strike it down either 8-1, considering the new justice, or even 9-0. I want to know what you think about this, but I don't think it's going to be close in the Supreme Court. Let me know in the comments. Also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out. They help our channel continue to grow, and they help all of us, fight for this republic and this democracy. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.